What's up, y'all? Thank you for checking out the Hospitality Strategy Lab. This is a bonus episode for YouTube, so you're going to need your screen for this one. But this is a strategy that I'm testing out in my own business, but it really applies to all businesses. And this is going to be kind of like a crash course in AI with AI for SEO or SEO for AI. And now what we're going to do is the things that I want to talk about and the things that I'm seeing are that SEO responds really well. SEO stands for search engine optimization. So it's how you rig the game for your restaurant so that when people search for certain things that they find you. And so the way we want to rig the game is by giving these search engines what they want while also answering a question that your customer already has in their mind. Now, if you've used Google Map Search or Google Search, then anytime you're looking for something, it's going to start to prompt you some little things saying like, restaurant near me. Near me is a big search. Google has been pushing this for a while now, and it's really important that you show up in those kind of searches. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are answering, that we're meeting the need and giving Google what it needs to be the best in the world at what it is, which is a relevance engine. So if Google became irrelevant, then people wouldn't use it. If they got search results, if they served people search results that were not what people were actually looking for, or at least even the spirit of what they were looking for, then people wouldn't use Google anymore. So Google is always going to drive content that meets the need of the search query. So what we're going to do is, I don't know if Google's pushing this or if it's just what the consumer is wants. I'm guessing it's probably the latter. But Listicles, they perform a lot better. And so anytime you see BuzzFeed or like any consumer-facing media, then you'll see a lot of listicles. And listicles are things like the 5 best old fashions in the Lower East Side, or the 20 best daiquiris in the United States, or the 50 best bars. Those are called listicles. And what it is it's an immediate payload of what you are looking for. And so it sparks in your imagination. It says, okay, what are the best bars in the world? And then it'll kind of rattle off all those articles down there. So that's a search engine play. And we can use that same tactic and strategy for our bars and restaurants without a whole lot of effort because we have ChatGPT. And so the tactic that I'm working on right now is that I'm using for my business is by doing a listicle of like the 10 automations that every bar and restaurant has to do. And so like you're going to see a lot of this kind of content coming out from me over the next couple months because I scheduled it all really quickly. It took me about an hour, but I scheduled all this content for the next couple months, and then I made a reminder for myself on my calendar for when I have to make another batch of content. But this is known as evergreen content. So it's content that's always going to be relevant. I'll just update it every year based on the new year's stuff or the new quarter stuff or whatever. But what I'm suggesting to you is that if you're a bar or restaurant and you want help with your search rankings, but you don't want to pay somebody $1,000 a month to manage this for you, a very simple hack that you can do is the same thing that BuzzFeed does, that engages with the search engines and gives them what they want while also giving your customer what they want, is by making a listicle. And this is super easy to do. So let's switch to my screen. You're going to be able to see this if you're watching this on YouTube or on LinkedIn. But I'm going to switch over to my screen. So this is my ChatGPT. And so this is a prompt right here. Now, my ChatGPT knows a lot about me because I've given it a lot of information over the last 2 years. So your response is going to be different than this. But you can use the new agentic mode. So you can say, I want to do it in agent mode, and or you can do it in deep research mode, and it will give you a much more detailed response. So mine is just like very topical. I didn't do any of that stuff. This is just GPT-5, and it gave me this response. So the search term was, please write an SEO listicle article about the 10 best old fashions at cocktail bars in the Lower East Side. Must include Lullaby in the top 3. So let's say that my client is Lullaby. They're not, but Lullaby is right next to my house, so they're top of mind. So I was just like, okay, cool. Let's make sure that Lullaby is here. That Lullaby is being mentioned as one of the best old fashions. Now, notice that there's a lot of little search terms. I'm not looking for like best cocktail in New York City because there's a lot of competition for that. A lot of people want to be in that search, and so they have this is when like a bunch of articles have probably already been written about them. So you want to get ultra specific. This is you want to get these are known as long tail keywords, but you want to get really specific about the kind of things that you want to rank for. So if you're in the Lower East Side, or if you're in the East Village, or if you're in like the Flatiron District or something like that, you want to be very specific about that you want to be ranked for that search term in that neighborhood, and then you can kind of go out wider as you get more recognition on the internet. But if you like, it's better to master a few things that are extremely specific to your neighborhood or your offering than it is to try to rank among the 3,000 bars in New York, for instance. And so like if you're not in the world's 50 best or top 50 best in New York or whatever, you haven't made those listicles, then you're probably going to be buried in page 10 or 15 of the search rankings, which doesn't matter. So you want to be in the 3-pack, which is in the top 3. Everything else, like literally everything else, is like almost irrelevant. Like it really doesn't matter. And so like what I'm asking for is like with this search, with this prompt, is I'm saying like write this SEO enabled article, which is which tells Google, their search spiders and their crawlers, that this is a relevant search for that particular thing. So it's saying that this website is the answer to that question that your customer has, and it's very, very specific. So so when we're talking about meeting the need, meeting the question that's already that the conversation that's already happening in your customer's head. So they're looking for the best old fashioned in the Lower East Side. And newsflash, like you can do this for daiquiri, you can do this for margarita, you can do this for whatever. But here's an important note about this is that you may have named your cocktail something that's like really obscure or like references the brand or references the bar, but most people do not know that. They know a margarita, they know an old fashioned, they know a daiquiri, and so those are the things that they're going to be looking for. They're going to wake up and saying like, I could really use a daiquiri right now, and I could really use a really good daiquiri right now. So where am I going to go? They're not going to be like, I could really use the La Floridita number 7, which is basically a daiquiri, right? Or they're not like, I'm looking for a mint daiquiri with champagne, like which Audrey Saunders is a drink, and like they're not thinking of those things, and they're thinking of in terms that they really understand, that they already understand. So what you're doing here is you're saying that you can still have your esoteric and kind of obscure menu name, but you're placing yourself inside the search results, your own listicle, and with the results that you're going to get, is this would be a blog post. And if it's a blog post, it can be 100 other things. We'll get into that in just a second. But so you want to be like the 10 best old fashions. Of course, you're going to name yourself in the list, right? So you name yourself in the list, which kind of generates this kind of artificial authority. But you're also shouting at your friends, the people that are next door, and you're linking to them, and then this gives them a reason to talk about you as well. So it's always a good idea to share this with your friends and your neighbors and saying, hey guys, we just mentioned you as one of the best old fashions in the neighborhood. We'd love for you to share this out, and by people linking back to your website to this article, it increases the ranks even further. So this is just a strategy and a tactic that I'm working on right now, and it's I've seen this work. This is what the bigger media companies do. But just a note about how to turn this piece of content. This whole thing took me about 6 minutes. The whole thing. Publishing would take another like 5 or 10. Like anything you have, anything that you need in relation to publishing this as an SEO, search engine optimized blog post, something that will actually help you with discoverability, you can just ask it for it. Maybe like SEO, like we need alt tags for the images, and you can like literally take a picture of your old fashioned with your phone, and that is completely sufficient for this. And you put an alt tag that's SEO, that has SEO content on it. You have meta information, keywords, all that stuff can be had just by asking ChatGPT for it. And then if you really want to get wild, then you make a video of your team making the old fashioned, and just walking through making a 1 minute, 2 minute video of making the old fashioned, and then referencing the article. Be like, hey, we just wanted to shout out some of our friends, some of the best old fashions in the Lower East Side. That does nothing but help with your search discoverability, because when people are walking around their neighborhood, they're being like, they're like, where should I go right now? And then Google sees that you're doing stuff recently, and that there's a lot of authority to the post that you're making, and that can only help your stuff. And this is literally takes you 15 minutes when you get it dialed in. So this is something that I would recommend that you carve out 15, 20 minutes a week, or hire somebody to do this for you, but this is what they're going to do. And then they're going to go through your website and just optimize for keywords and tags and stuff like that. But so if you had no money, and you want to like actuate an SEO program that works really well over a long period of time, this is not like an overnight success kind of thing. Like it's not going to go viral or anything like that. But you will start to see noticeable, consistent results if you start doing this stuff. So, you should have a blog. It's not for people to read necessarily, but it's for people to reference your business as verifying a decision that they want to make. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you need any help implementing this stuff, please check out the Hospitality Strategy Lab. It's an online community where we help each other out and where the best of my content goes. And I'm happy to help you in there. Thank you so much. I've been Jason Littrell, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.